Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamshachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Our salutation to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who is the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the dear darling of the mother Devaki, and the Guru of the world. We salute again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So, we'll be reading today chapter 4 of book 2 called Skanda. Second Skanda, chapter 4. The chapter 3 was dedicated when we saw telling about this story that this life is meaningless if it is not dedicated to God. It is meaningless. All speech we talk is meaningless if it does not talk about God, tongue. The ear hears all this rubbish if it does not hear about the Lord's glories and His greatness. So that was the purpose of human life. Lastly, on the verse number 25 of the third chapter, last verse, we said, O beloved one, you have been discoursing on matters dear to our hearts. May you be pleased to tell us what the great spiritual luminary, Sri Shukadeva, replied to the king in answer to the questions put to him. So, what is the response to the questions put by Maharaj Parikshit? That he wants to know. So, now the narrator is talking in the starting of the chapter 4, and it is called this hymns, Sukha Deva's hymn to the divine Krishna, the Lord. That is the fourth chapter. So Parikshit's questions on the divine mystery. Here the king Parikshit is putting the question about the mystery of this creation, how it came, why it came, where from it came, etc. So Suta, Suta is the narrator, as we remember. He is narrating the discourse between Shukadev and Parikshit, what is going on. It is a statement of fact, what happened. So narrator says, Suta says, hearing the words of Sukadeva, devoted to the determination of the truth of the spirit, the king Parikshit, the son of Uttara, directed his mind to Sri Krishna with the conviction that he is the only one to be loved and served. So he heard the last chapter that the head of a man, though bedecked with silk and turbans, diadems, all is with all its adornment just like a burden. If it does not bow down before the Lord, so the glory, the hand, a hand that never served the Lord is verily a cadaverous limb, in spite of the brilliant bracelets worn on it. So the eyes that are not accustomed to see the images of the Lord and the holy men are as purposeless as the eyes in the center of a peacock feather. So it is meaningless. So that's why, so with this type of thing, when he heard, then the king Parikshit put his whole mind and soul, heart and soul, and in the thought of the Bhagavan Krishna. Second verse. He means the king Parikshit, abandoned root and branch, his hitherto firm sense possessions of an identification with his body, wife, son, house, property, wealth, relatives, and prosperous kingdom. So even he has given up, so he totally now abandoned the root and branch is so long the firm sense of possession. How much we do want to renounce, but it is not so easy to give up because still our very underground connection with the objects of our senses remain. We feel that we are bound there. Entanglement, our sanskaras hang on. Apparently, uh, you renounce. Apparently, we renounce. But you have not renounced. All the attachment is in the mind. Uh, a beggar in the street uh, have renounced apparently. But his mind is only dwelling on wealth, prosperity, home, house. No? So external giving up is not important, it's the internal. So Maharaj Parikshit gave up his everything and then came to forest named Isharanya, where he met the Shukadeva. Give up everything. But he said that this, after hearing this, the mental attachment, what he has, so he also gave up with all these positions and the identification, positions, detachment. Even if you give away, then you mentally think, oh, I have given up, but it was that's good that I could have kept it. No, sometimes it happens. Costly gift you give away something, and then you think again, I give up though. But mentally, it's physically given up, but mentally it happens. So mental attachment is finer attachment. So it is very difficult to give. But Maharaj Parikshit, the king, now wanted to think in this way, and he gave up all this identification with his own people like the son, house, property, wealth, relative. Oh, holy ones, the very question you are asking me was put by that high souled king who was intent on hearing about the deeds of the excellences of Sri Krishna. That was his idea. He wanted to know about the glory of the Lord. No? Because we are ordinary people, to think about Atman, Brahman is too big a thing. We may analyze, I am Atman, I am Brahman, but very difficult to keep the mind in the lofty thought. Therefore, it is very easy to hear about the glories of God, to keep the mind in the lila, the divine play, so that mind roams around God and godly ideas. So here is the same thing, that holy ones, the very question you are asking was put by that high souled king who was intent on hearing about the deeds and excellences of Sri Krishna. Recognizing the imminent approach of death, he abandoned all worldly concerns and clung to the Lord as his very soul and support. He thus questioned, says Sukadeva. So, because his death is imminent, we can relax when? When we know that, okay, if I cannot do, I will do it tomorrow. Hmm? If I don't do, I'll do day after tomorrow. There is no end of there is no end of such delay. But if I know I have only 7 days, one day is gone, another 6 day, another day is gone, only 5 day, another day, another 4 day only. I am in the world so much smile and joy and fun. Another 4 day, and I'll have to leave this body. Then your concern becomes very serious. Huh? That's why it is said. For spiritual practice, always think that death is holding your tucked hair. Any moment, get come out. No, 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 I have to finish this. No, no, no. We'll do it later on. Come. So when God of death comes, He does not allow us to wait for some other opportunity and then. And Maharaj Parikshit's example is that His life is only for 7 days more. That is the discourse which Sukadeva started. That is what will be his earnestness. Ah, suppose we can understand the situation. Those who are in the hospice care and at the fag end of the time, no? How they are feeling. They are feeling, okay, I'll go to see the movie today. Okay, tomorrow I'll talk to him. And that will come, that will be charming. I'll listen to some songs and go some dancing. Will they do that? Or you say, "Hey, what is the imminent thing I have to do? I have no time to think of anything else." That seriousness, that earnestness, that call for God comes. So that is the situation in the mind of the Parikshit. Therefore, the Raja said, Raja means the King Parikshit said, O great sage, O purity embodied, you, your all knowing self has spoken the right thing. Listening to your exposition of Sri Hari's excellences, the hold of ignorance on me seems to be slackened. No? Those I was holding to keep on the listening to your message, it is getting little slack. I want, even death comes, what is happening? Even death comes, no? This Tantalus's hell. Swami Vivekananda has described Tantalus's hell. What is Tantalus's hell? Tantalus's hell, a person is in the middle of a hanging on the well where there is scorpions and snakes below and a rope hanging, and then everywhere death, death, death. You fall, there are all scorpions and biting and everything death. And in all other side, some hell is experienced, and in between there comes a little drop of honey, and he's trying to enjoy that honey. That's called Tantalus' hell. Uh, you see, so much is all around, but we happily spend our days loosely. Okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that. What is the priority of life? And that is very difficult. That's why it's this Parikshit's condition is a blessed condition because he understands its meaning and purpose. So he says that, oh Sukadev, listening to your exposition, you have already done so far. The Sri Hari, the Krishna's excellences, I was holding on to the objects which created by my ignorance of Jnana, Vedanta talk. Why we are here? Because my Maya is pulling me down. Ignorance is keep catching my attention and is holding me down to the world, no? And it is not allowing me to think of the divine self, divine nature, no? So this is the condition. It seems now it is getting slackened under circumstances. How does the Lord, with the power of his Maya, accomplish the creation of the world, which is a mystery even to all the gods and deities? With the help of what power does he sustain it and then dissolve it? How God creates this universe? How everything gets dissolved in at the end of destruction? So I want to hear about that. Like one sporting, how he does, he manifests himself as many. He is only one reality, but how he has become many. I want to hear about that. I used to have all these questions of mine. That is the verse number 7. 7 says, Yatha gopayati vibhur jatha sangyachate puna yang shaktim upasitya. Centering around that power of Shakti of the Lord, Puru Shakti, Parakpuma, and that supreme reality, then playfully, Atman Kriya, he is playing with himself and he has created and recreated this whole universe. I want to know about that ideas. Eighth verse says, O Holy One, even the wisest of men are not able to have an inkling of the mystery surrounding the doings of Hori, of wondrous deeds. Even ordinary people cannot guess what is the God's will. So he says, even the holy people who are very pure in heart, even the wisest in the world, they are great engineers, doctors, world renowned scientists, professors, maybe wisest people, Nobel laureates, they are also not able to deepen this understanding. Verse number 8, so they have no inkling of the mystery surrounding the doing of Holy God, how God is playing in this world, the mysterious way He is working. It is not revealed to even the most intelligent people in the world. How does the Lord, who is one, manifest as several incarnations? He is only one. He is coming as Dasa Avatar, 10 incarnations. Matsya, Varaha, this, that, to human. And then human, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Shankara, like that. How that one is getting born again and again and again? It is by assuming the gunas of the Prakriti altogether at once or gradually, little by little. Is it? He's accepted the qualities, three qualities called Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, taking this help of these three gunas. He is taking at one time all the gunas or gradually taking all these. These are just questions. How to understand that? Please tell me gradually. 10th verse. Be gracious enough to tell me that which will clear all these doubts of mine. You are as great in the learning as you are in the spiritual experience. So I am asking you because you are as great in your learning, wisdom, and also your spiritual experience. Oh, it is Sukadeva. Sukadeva is the son of whom? Vyasa. And that he is born with the wisdom, full wisdom of the absolute non-dual truth. Now Shuka's hymn, now hearing this, Shuka started not saying anything else but the glories of the Lord, God, Lord. So the verse number 11 on page 106 says, Suta said, 11 verse, being so questioned by the king on the topic of the Lord's glorious deeds and excellences, Suko began to speak. Iti upamantrito ragnya guno anukathane hare rishikesham anusmritya prativaktum prachakrame. Rishikesh, he remembered the Sukadeva. Hearing this, this king wants to know the glories of the Lord. Then Rishikesha Manusmita, remembering the Lord Krishna, Rishikesha Pratibhaktum, to respond to this question, he started in this way. What he said then? Verse number 12. So Suko Uvacha, Shukadev said, what he said? Namah Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Bhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya Grihito Shakti Stridaya Tritayayo Dehinam Antarbhavaya Anupo Lakshavartmane. He said this, Sukadev said, salutation to the Supreme Person. Who is Supreme Person? Supreme Person is Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. The boundless being. This description is all superlative because it is describing God, the Lord, from whom the whole creation has come. Or he is the Satchidananda self from coming down one step, from whom all creation has come. That is the Ishvara. So here Krishna is Ishvara, that man, not the man who is in a physical frame, but in spirit. To salutation to that supreme person, Ishvara. The boundless being, he has no boundary, his endless spirit. The wilder of his triunion Shakti. What is the triunion Shakti? A creation, power of creation, power of destruction, and sustenance. So he's sportive, but this power is not like much effort. You may have power to exercise, you need some energy, but it is like just child's play. It is spontaneously he is creating, destroying, and maintaining this whole universe. Preservation and dissolution. The indwelling spirit within all beings, he resides in the heart of all, and the unseen director of everything. He is not seen, but he is directing everything. It's a really thing to understand how God controls and God maintains the whole universe. He appears to be controlling everything, but we don't find where he is there, how he is controlling. The gross example is that sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening. He does not do anything. We don't even think of sun. But we know, oh, I have to do this. Oh, at 10 o'clock, I'll have to go there. Oh, 11 o'clock, I'll have to meet this. Who is controlling you? Your whole life. The sun, who does nothing, he is there. But sun's being sun there, the whole universe, not you and me, 7.4 billion of people, how many trillions of animals and sharks and fish and this and that, and plants, everything, their life is all regulated, controlled. That is the control of God. Understand? Our our control and their control is so much different. Our control, you want to control two people, wow, wow, your brain will be exhausted. If you are in the office, you have under you 10 people, you know what is the problem. How can you manage them? So much effort. Eh? See, when it comes to God, it becomes effortless. And so effortless, he does not say anything. The sun is not telling anybody anything. It is there and it is in the sky, earth rotating around it. And by mere presence, the whole universe is controlled. Everyone's action, everyone's birth, everyone's death, everyone's happiness, misery, pleasure, pain, everything is coming. And it is in time happening, no? In time. That's why Kala, in time. And who is controlling? The sun. And the sun is controlled by whom? Unseen some force which permeates everywhere, and that reality is in the heart of every being, but still at the same time he does nothing. Would you understand? This is a big philosophy to understand. Khelicho bisholoe birato siu anomone khelicho. Whose song is Rabindranath or whose? No, I think this song might be Rabindranath Tagore, or it might be Nazrul. Anyhow, so point is that God is like a child. He does not do anything. And Nazrul. God is like a child. And so tell me what a baby does in a home. When the baby is come in a home, you tell me what the baby does. Does he go earn money? Does he bring some food, fruits and candies and this and that, anything for the whole family? Baby is there. And baby is crying, the whole family is tensed. Baby is smiling, everyone is smiling. Baby's presence itself is creating the whole family. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, baby is the king and or queen of the family. They don't do, but their presence controls the whole universe. So understand that greatness. That is the God and that's why I say, oh Virata Sisu, oh great child, great baby. You are playing in this world with the toys. The sun and moon are your toys. Play baby, have a baby toy. Sun, throw it here. Moon, do this way. Jump this way. Blast that way. So this is the God's glory. Huh? So it's a great thing. We never think very seriously how God controls everyone. These are the examples. The baby does not do anything in the world. Rather, everyone will have to take care of the baby. But baby controls the whole home. And not only that, whoever comes in the home, they're all controlled. Ha ha ha, baby, and goes to smile and start talking with the baby. Huh? And they forget they brought something to say, but they get involved into the babies. That's the way baby is. So God is the baby, big baby who plays. His toys are only the infinite number of stars and galaxies, creating, destroying, throwing this, that. No, that is the so unseen director of everything. That's why the God, the Lord, directs, controls, preserves, destroys, unseen. We do not see the person who is doing that. Verse number 13. Salutation again and again unto him who dispels the sins of the good, who destroys the wicked, who manifests as the various pure divine forms, and who bestows on the all renouncing truth seekers the blessings they seek. So, this is the glory of God. Who is God? Now, this Krishna we are talking about, who is the Ishvara, who creates, sustains, and destroys this whole universe. He helps humanity in which way? And I say this Sukadev is saying, I salute that Narayana, I salute that Lord Krishna, who is what? Unto whom I salute, who dispels the sins of the good people, noble people who want to make a spiritual progress. Their sins. Sin means here ignorance. Their ignorance, God removes the ignorance of these sincere people who are searching for truth, which destroy the wicked. Destroy the wicked means wickedness of the wicked. Wickedness which is inside, he destroys. And who manifests as the various pure divine forms in the world. He has manifested in hundreds and thousands of gods and goddesses and angels and divine forms. No, it is he has manifested himself, and he bestows on all renouncing truth seekers, those who are seeking for truth, eh, that he is bestowing their blessings they are seeking for. So it is he is controlling in this way, giving boon and blessings, protecting the sincere seekers, taking away the sin and misdeeds of others, the karmas of others, and blessing with the boons. 14 verse. Salutation again and again to the bestower of illumination on true devotees. God is always in wherever it may be. Forget we consider Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, etc. It is only one God who gives freedom and illumination to the devotees. Who is devoted to God, he gives the blessings to them. And who is far from the reach of hypocritical ascetics. Every religion there is hypocritical ascetics. They show that they are spiritual, whereas their mind is steeped into ignorance. Christ said in the Bible,
brood of vipers.
uh,
Call them the brood of vipers.
and also said, don't be like the scribes and Pharisees, because they make a show of their spirituality by standing in front of the temple with a rosary in the hand. No? They're showing, and that they control the society. So, therefore, who is far from the reach of this hypocritical ascetics, and who ever shine in his glory as the all-inclusive Brahman, whom there is none to equal or to excel. And it reaches and is shining in the glory, in his own glory, to the pure soul. eh? The all-inclusive Brahman, as all-inclusive Brahman, that glory will manifest in the heart of a pure soul. 15th verse. Repeated salutation to that being whose fame consists in his all purifying sanctity. Because that's why we take the name of the Lord. God's name is sanctifying. As soon as you take the name of the Lord, whether you know or not, you will be pure. If you know it, if you consciously do it, then you will be more happy. If you don't do consciously, then also its effect will be happening. You take the name of Lord. That's why repeated salutation I am doing to that being means that the Krishna, that Ishvara, whose fame and glory consist in his all purifying sanctity. The corruptions of sin are overcome by those who listen to his excellences, who praise him, who remember him, who serve him, who salute him, and who worship him. So this purification happens to those people. Others will not understand. Even if it is given, they will not understand. But name has its glory, tremendous power. I give the common example. In a very hot summer, you saw suddenly walking and you find there is a cool pool, and you feel inspired. And you just jump into the water and start swimming, and you're happy. Oh, what a peace, no? And suppose another person going, though he saw the same cool water, though he is perspiring and so much sweating, but he didn't mean to get into the water. So somebody comes and just gives a push and he falls into the water. What will happen? Effect of the joy of cool water will come to this person, both the person. But one person enjoys this, another person being in that good condition, he fights out. How dare you do this to me? And he is angry and fomenting. He does not enjoy that. Enjoyment physically, because of the touch of the cool water, is the same. So if we do japa and meditation with sincere practice, what will happen? We will enjoy it day by day. And if I do not want to do and somebody forces me to do it, still it will do some good. Body will be cool. Though I may not enjoy that, I may feel that's a torture. So this is the point that it is the corruptions of the sin which in our mind are overcome by those who listen to his excellences. That's why Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Namasmaranam, the six sadhanas are there in the Vaishnava tradition. Listen to his glory, Sravanam. Darshanam, look at the divine image of the Lord, Darshanam. So listening, hearing, seeing, going to the holy places, taking his prasad, singing his glories, it all are effective to purify our heart. So the corruption of sin are overcome by those who listen to his excellences, who praise him, who remember him, who serve him. Serve him in the temple, serve him, as Vivekananda said, in front of the people, God in human form, no? And salute and worship him. Verse 16, salutations again and again to that being whose glory consists in his all purifying sanctity. Why I am saluting him again and again? Because his touch makes us pure. You see Ramakrishna, the life of Ramakrishna. Ah, even like or dislike, anyone enter into their house, Dakshineshwar, where Ramakrishna is there, their mind is so lifted, no? They are full of joy and bliss. And that's why Girish got attracted to Ramakrishna. How? He came to see Ramakrishna and he was totally drunk that time, no? And he has some bottle of wine in his armpit also. His door, moving from the car. When the hackney carriage, he came out. And he entered and he saw Sri Ramakrishna in the small room, no? And Sri Ramakrishna is clapping his hand and she's singing Ma, Ma, Ma. And he's intoxicated. So the Girish entered and saw Ramakrishna. He said, Are, I drank bottle full, but I am not still intoxicated. And this guy, so he's intoxicated so deeply. What makes it so? So he asked, Sir, what brand of wine is this that you have drunk? And it made you so much drunk. I ate so much, but I am not getting that joy. Then he sang, no? What he sang?
It is no ordinary.
Shurapan korinayami Shudha khai jai kali bole Mod matale matal kore Mon matale na mon matale matal kore Mon matale matal bole Shurapan korinayami Shudha khai Jai Kali Bole. I don't drink Sura, means the wine. Surapan Kurina. I don't drink Surapan Kurina. But I drink what? Sudha, nectar. Sudha Khai. I drink the nectar. What is my nectar? Jai Kali. I am saying Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. This is my nectar. Sudha Khai Jai Kali Bole. Mon Matale, when my mind gets intoxicated, it makes me really intoxicated. Matal kore. But mod matale, you drink some wine and you look like that, he's intoxicated by wine. But I don't drink anything, but only clapping the hand and the mother's name, I get intoxicated. So that is the point, intoxication. So it is salutation again and again. He is all purifying sanctity. The corruption of the sins are overcome by those who listen to his excellence, who praise him, who remember him, to serve him, who salute him, who worship him. Salutation again and again. To that being whose glory consists in his all purifying sanctity. By worshipping his feet, men of discrimination easily overcome the attachment for the enjoyments of this world and of the hereafter and attain easily to the bliss of Brahman. And they are saying easily, easily. We don't know, we don't understand how easy it is.
Easy to think knowledge.
Here is recitation. So it's a salutation again and again by worshipping his feet. That means if we can think of him, feet means his presence, his reality, his existence. By worshipping his feet, men of discrimination, those who have eye of discrimination, what is permanent, impermanent, what is divine, what is worldly, this discrimination, separation. Discrimination is a fundamental thing. We do not discriminate in our food because of bad food habits. We get so many diseases. Now we are becoming aware, no? So therefore, we know what to eat, what not to eat. But still, you see, when you eat, Some sweets come. I don't take it first time. Next time I go on supervising and grab one. So discrimination will not do. You have to boirako, you have to practice. It is theoretical knowledge that it is bad, but theoretical knowledge bad is not enough. The power, there should be some power, capacity to say no, done. So by worshipping his feet, men of discrimination, these people who have the power to first separate out husk from the paddy, easily, and this type of people can easily come to the overcome the attachment for the enjoyments of this world and of the hereafter. It is not bad to enjoy the life, but the question is, it is useless because it does not linger long. How much ice cream you start eating, it is only for a few seconds on the tongue. And then it will be memory. And that will create all cholesterol and every problem. So, so therefore, attachment for enjoyments of the world is bad because if I get attached, then I am bound, slave of that. And as much as we go on that, endless, we are pulled into that well of death. And not here only, people also do good charitable activity. Why? 90% people, so-called religious people, they want to be happy here, and after death, they want to go to heaven, five-star hotel, to live there, prepaid, because of your punya karma. You do your good karma here, so you are prepaid by that. So you go to heaven, and your period will be determined 1 month, 5 years, 10 years, and which loka. It will be third, 5-story, 5-star, it will be 6-star. In heaven there will be 7-star. All free. And everything is available, and you will never be sick. There is no cholesterol. There is no heart attack. There is no problem of death. It's all fun. So this, but people don't understand, even if you go, there is a date of departure. Your visa ends. What will happen? You go to a hotel, okay, you are lordly, you are going for your monthly payment is done, and that is the due. When the date comes, last day, what you say? Sir, you get out. No? Sir is, first they will be sir. And if you don't go, then they'll bring some strong man to pull you out. So the heaven will not allow me to stay there forever. It will drive us out. So here and hereafter, people do much charitable activity, much good things to go after death to heaven. But Vedanta, that's why they don't care about going to heaven. They say here and hereafter, rather there is much danger. Why? Here, at least I do something good, bad, I get a blow every now and then. But heaven, you are secured for, say, 10 years, 20 years, no? Or 100 years, 200 years, God knows how much. You have good karma you have done. According to the merit, you are getting that fun of heaven. And that period, you cannot think of God. Heaven is not good. Don't go there.
But Maharaj, Ramakrishna Loka, Devi Loka, Brahma Loka.
That is different. There is no fun and enjoyment of wine. And you see, most of the concept of heaven is what? Muslim heaven will be there because they are dry region. They think the water will sprinkle, flow. All the springs will be there everywhere. Water. You go to the Bangladesh people will think, oh my God, there's all water everywhere. It should be dry. Rajasthani people, if they want to heaven, what heaven you want? The high desert. They are tired with the desert. So they need water area, flower area, apple will be falling there, this, that, good. Grapes will be hanging there. That means what we are lacking here, we are thinking we'll get those things there. So those are not satisfying. Even if you get it, it will be not satisfying. So to the attachment for the enjoyments of this world and hereafter, those who are by worshipping God, uh, God, what happens? We can easily, the devotee can easily overcome these attachments, this clinginess for the enjoyments of this world and heaven, here and then hereafter, and attain easily the bliss of Brahman. By that way, if you conquer all these things, nothing is pulling you back. Your car moves straight. Yeah, your rocket goes straight. It can overcome all these obstacles easily. That's the grace of God. And attain easily that car which has no attachment. eh? Ramakrishna gave the example. There is a mongoose, uh, and he's trying to get up the hole, and he's trying to come out, almost come out, and there is a tie. A stone is tied to the tail, and it pulls it out. So this is the attachment. So those who have less attachment, their movement towards God is easy, and they think of God this way. They will be attaining the bliss of Brahman. 17th verse. Salutation again and again to the being whose glory consists in his all purifying sanctity, without worshipping whom with the fruits of their practices, aspirants who devote themselves to the austerity, charity, yoga, repetition of the mantras, etc., can never attain to the spiritual samambanam. No? So, only by the glory and the grace, that salutation again and again to the being whose glory consists in his all purifying sanctity. God's glory is there because he is a purifying agent. It purifies our mind, it purifies our heart and soul. Without worshipping whom the fruits of their practices, aspirants who devote themselves to austerity, suppose without giving out the fruit at the feet of the Lord, people who are worshipping every day, practicing their austerity, practicing charity, yoga practice, and all the repetition of the mantras, can never attain to the highest peak of God's realization. 18th verse. Salutation to that Supreme Being, by serving whose devotees, even such sinful communities like the forest tribes, like there are in tribes, various tribe people are there even now. No, he says that by serving salutation to the Supreme Being, that means the Lord God, by serving whose devotees, even the sinful communities, the people who have not much spiritual merit, this type of tribal people who worship not very high philosophical spiritual ideal is not in there. Rituals and dogmas are very in a primitive state. They will also realize God by God's grace. So that's why it is emphasis is bhakti. This book is a bhakti book. He's saying if has a tremendous love for God, the salutation to the Supreme Being, by serving whose devotees, even such sinful communities like the forest tribes, they are Huns, Andhras, Pulindas, Pulkasas, Abhiras, Kankas, Javanas, Khasas, and the like become pure. That means it matters little in which body you are born. In a Brahmin family with high characteristics, or in a family where there is no such opportunity. But if one serves God and God's children with devotion, one pointedness, then they will be free from bondage. So this is the Sabari's example. Sabari in the Rama story, Sabari was the lady, she was a tribal lady. So she attained, she saw the Rama. Rama's vision came, experience came. Though she was not fortunate to be born in a high class lifestyle, no, or in a Brahman family, you are all still studying Aham Brahmasmi, Atma Bodha, Vedanta Sara, and all these Upanishads. Where is the chance for a person who is born in such a family, of the tribal family? So, but because of the devotion, they cross the Maya, they enter into the level of blissfulness. May he who is entreated as the inner self by men of self control, with the Lord of all, whose nature finds expression as revelation, and as mortal efforts, and as spiritual striving, and whose mastery astounds even such highly evolved beings like Brahma and Shiva, may that Bhagavan be propitious to me. Here, Sukadev is saying, let that God be propitious to me. Uh, so, even whom the Brahma and Shiva are also worshipping to get grace. You know, this type of book will be always saying, here is Krishna is the highest, Vishnu is the highest. So, Shiva and others all under him. If you go to Shiva Tantra, Shiva Purana, Shiva will be the hell. All Krishna and others will be his under him. And that is because of devotion, no? Whom you want to love, you have to make him the supreme so that your devotion grows, moves towards that. Not to belittle some. This explanation should not be that Krishna is somebody and Rama is somebody or Brahma is somebody. It's all the manifestation of the same reality. But in this context, the devotion is very important. So even the other gods and goddesses all bow down to Narayana. That's the point. So we should all love Narayana. And Vedanta says don't get mixed up with the word Narayana, Shiva, Kali, Durga. Bas, all are the manifestations of the divine. You have love for one and go, you will reach the same Brahman. Now, 20th verse. May he who is the Lord of Sri, Sri means Mother Lakshmi, who is the grantor of fruits of all jagnas. In the early days, people used to perform jagnas. So you offer the jagna. Who gives you the fruit? It is the Lord Krishna gives the fruit. Narayana gives the fruit. Who is the master of all creatures? He is the Lord of all the worlds. He who protects the whole world through his various incarnations. Who in his incarnation of Sri Krishna came as the Lord and support of all devotees, constituting the tribes, Andhakas, Brishnis, Sartattas, these are different groups of tribes. May he be propitious unto me. So he is the leader of all these clans and groups that who descended in the form of Krishna. So let he be my support. 21. He, by meditating on whom? With intensity of devotion. The wise ones get the refinement of understanding with which they are able to intuit the truth of Atman and thereafter to expound the truth in different ways according to their intellectual bent. May he be propitious unto me. He's talking, let the Lord God be propitious to me, who? By meditating upon whom, with intense love and devotion, the wise ones got the refinement of the understanding. When you think of God, a refinement happens, refinement of your understanding. Your mind becomes purer. That is the refinement. So they are able to intuit, and with that refinement, pure mind, they can intuit what is the truth. What is Satchidananda? What is this Maya? What is that distinction between this? How to get out of that? That intuitive knowledge is generated inside. according to their intellectual men. And let that God be propitious to me, that is Sukadeva. Sukadeva is saying, let that grace come upon me. He by whose prompting Saraswati, he by whose prompting Mother Saraswati, identical with the Vedas, emanated from the mouth of Brahma at the beginning of creation, imparting to him the creative idea. May that supreme bestower of spiritual knowledge be propitious unto me. He's talking about the glories of God in so many ways. This Mother Saraswati, who is the giver of wisdom and knowledge, who has come out of the Brahma, out of Brahma. But that Brahma is worshipping Krishna, the Narayana. Therefore, I bow down to that Narayana. 23rd, he who out of five elements, Kiti Aptis Marudbam, the water, air, fire, what? Air, water, fire, air, water, fire, space, earth and space. No? So these are the five elements. Well, God created with these five tools. So he says, he who out of five elements forms the bodies of all beings, resides within as their indweller. Say, God who created the whole universe with the five elements. And also after creating, he has entered into it. So he's created this body and he is entered into it. I don't see him, but without that, it will again go back to the five elements. So manifesting in them their 16 faculties and their functions, may that Bhagavan inspire my words. 24th verse, page 108. Salutation to Bhagavan Vyasa of unlimited spiritual puissance, whose nectarine words constitute the immortal drink of divine knowledge for all devotees to imbibe. I salute that Bhagavan Vyasa, who has created these Vedas and the Brahma Sutras, Mahabharata, all these. O King is who? O Parikshit, O King Parikshit. Brahma, who had from his origin the knowledge of the Vedas within him, expounded to Narada, who was questioning him, who was questioning him very earnestly, this knowledge of the Atman, in which he in turn had been instructed by Sri Hari himself. Meaning, now so much preambling has happened only to praise the Lord Narayana by the king, to the king Parikshit by Shukadeva. So now he said, what about the philosophy of this creation? How he created, I will tell you now. But I am not telling directly. I recall a story of the past. That is the style. That's why the book becomes so big. Otherwise, what is there in the Vedanta? It's only a few points, no? All the points you jot down, the whole Vedanta can be jot down in what? How many lectures you are listening?
Jagat Mithya.
Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. Jiva Brahma Iva Napara. That's finished. These are the three words. And the whole books are on. Plenty of ideas are given on that. In the whole Vedanta, even if you divide much more, witness, consciousness, everything is the observer. This is only theory. Go on. Oh, Jagrat, Samna, Susupti. Waking state, dream state, and dreamless state. Beyond that. This is the whole Vedanta. But how this big book? I heard it from that guru. He said that went, and he instructed this great soul. So I'll tell about that. So the next chapter will be that. So he says, O King, O Parikshit, Brahma, who had from his origin the knowledge of the Vedas within himself. He knew, Brahma knew, because Vedas has come out of his mouth. Brahma he created the Vedas. It came out of his mouth. So what was in mind of the Brahma? he expounded to Narada. When Narada approached the Brahma, please talk about the ultimate truth. So Narada got the instruction from Brahma himself, was questioning him very earnestly the knowledge of the Atman, Narada was asking, in which he in turn had been instructed by Hari himself. That means, and who got? Brahma got instructed from whom? From Narayana. Again, Brahma is one step down. Narayana is above. Narayana gave these Vedas. Narada went to ask him. And he then talked about what Narayana told him. Bapre Bap. See how much roundabout. But our main thing is that instruction. And all the Vedanta instruction we'll read next day in the 5th chapter. Here ends the chapter 4, verse number 1, 4 dot, book 2, 2.4.1 to 25. 2 book, 4th chapter, 1 to 25 verses. So, thank you. We end here. Mainly, we have to, devotion is the major thing. How we can devote ourselves and how we can spend our day and night in the glory of God, thinking of His glories, His personalities. He is the controller. He is doing everything, but not like us. That's why He has no effort. Effortless work. God's work is effortless. Life also. When we do our work, that becomes troublesome. আমি যতবার কুড়ায়ে রয়েছি সকলই হয়েছে বোঝা তুমি যতবার দিয়েছো বন্ধু সকলই হয়েছে সোজা. There is a song. Oh Lord, whatever you have given upon me, heavy load of activity, when I think it is you have given to do, it is no wetless work. আমি যতবার, and I will do this. I know this. আমি যতবার কুড়ায়ে লয়েছি, and that has become সকলই হয়েছে heavy burden. My neck is breaking now. But still I will do. They said, no, it is thou. So I to thou. So he says, that's why how to transfer that I to thou. That is this bhakti yoga. Say, no me, not me, thou, thou, thou. Thee and thine. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Oh, you have a class next at 7:30. That will be Shanti Gita. Yes, and 6 o'clock, of course, our prayer, evening prayer. So, have you any question? One question more.
How is the Ramakrishna Loka or the Deva Loka different than lower Loka?
You know, Ramakrishna is what? Ramakrishna does not know anything of the world. If you ask Ramakrishna any money, Ramakrishna says, Baba, I cannot touch money. How shall I give you? That's why you go to Ma Saroda. Ma can manage both. So Ramakrishna Loka means a plane where there will be all the renunciate people. Their joyful presence of say Brahmananda, Shivananda, Vivekananda, Akhandananda, all these glorious and holy people who have no attachment for the world, or what they will be their fun. That will be fun of joy and singing and dancing. And in that plane of spiritual, the highly elevated place where your mind will be in that plane, that is called the Ramakrishna Loka. There is no other worldly tie, there is no worldly pull. If we cannot go there, then if we have, we will not be able to reach there. By that time, it is pulling down to the ground. So when one can go there, It is called Kromo Mukti. There you are playing with the divine, singing with the divine, and having a so wonderful, peaceful, joyful presence with Sri Ramakrishna. Moho, every second going to Samadhi and coming down. And it's just a plane of, at, like Swami Brahmananda and others after Ramakrishna passed away, they are performing tremendous austerities. That plane where they are physically austerity, detachment, but mentally they are lifted into that level. And that is such a high altitude from where people should not come back in this direction. From there, they will go onward journey. Like Ramakrishna going to Samadhi. The people around, they are singing and dancing with him. And they are also rolling down in the ground. And Ramakrishna said, today, who had a good spiritual experience? Leto. He was totally lost himself and went into Samadhi. So there to Samadhi is so easy, not to come back. But if I go to 7-star hotel or 5-star hotel, so then you have to come back because there is a duration. You did some good karma, you got to go there. And the good karma is over, your term is over, you have to come back and again do good work here and then get a leave from your office and they will pay for 1 month salary or with the Hawaiian experience. No. So that's why the difference between other locals and this local. Actually, one question is here. Is Girish Ghosh giving power of attorney to Thakur an example of a true bhakta? Of course, of course. The power of attorney to give is very difficult. We say, oh Lord, I give you everything, and then come back, and then I give tensed again. Hey, what will happen? Hare, you just said that I gave you everything, and even step is not out. And you started thinking about what will happen. Hare, what will happen if you have given the responsibility? He will take care. But you have no faith that he can take care. Or you have not that purity of the heart to surrender. So it happens with us. So Girish has, that's why I say, Girish has faith, 16 annas, that means wholehearted faith. There is no least doubt in the mind of him. Ramakrishna, that's why he said, had I known, oh Ramakrishna, had I known that you will come, what bad actions I did. I could have done piled up sin, much more, mountain high. See, he has the faith. He's the Redeemer. He can by touch take away our sins. So this is the power there. So if we have faith, then he will take away all. And then we will be burden free. So yes, that is the ultimate word. But power of attorney is not so easy to give. We'll have to practice every day, surrender every day, pray every day, and practice, practice, practice. Okay?
Well,
Thank you.
hi, sorry. I was thinking, Haladari was bullying Ramakrishna about Kali, saying, oh, she's all destruction and everything. And Thakur goes to Kali and then he realizes that no, she's almost like very compassionate and benevolent. So then why should someone doing Kali Puja, for instance, be afraid of making a mistake? Because you mentioned that sometimes things
No,
can go
because
wrong.
if you don't think that you are really worshipping God as your own mother, but you are thinking, oh, Kali will leave the sword waiting. If you do something wrong, he will stop you. That means your love is not developed that much. Our love for Ma Kali, not that good. We think that if I do my mistake, and mother is to punish also. So people become fearful because of that. But if you have anyone can think that God is my own mom. So there is no question of any fault. Mom does not see the fault of a child, no. But our mind is not that pure. We cannot do that. That's why when you do these rituals of those, because this another aspect of is there, distraction and protection. So contradictory ideas are there. So unless the mind is very pure, they cannot go beyond the negative side of it. So lives, so long you are in the life, people are do. Say Ramakrishna is pure to the 10% pure. That type of purity is not in the mind of others. Lust, greed, all these things are there. Therefore, to worship her in proper way is necessary to please her.
Mm.
To purify ourselves. These are all because of purification.
But in the end, I always say Vidhihinam, Kriyahinam, Mantrahinam. So just
That,
assume
that people say, but actually they say as a verse.
Oh,
But
they don't
if
mean it.
16 and wholeheartedly one can say, then there is nothing.
Ah,
If you can really say everything wholeheartedly, then everything is okay. There is no fear from
so the
that.
key is that mantra then.
Or that mantra you can say when like you are assigned to do puja, you didn't want to do.
Ah.
You didn't have the desire. Like your schedule is pushing you
So you
like
did.
that for that. Then you say like mother, they assigned me the
Ah.
puja. What can I do? So that time it is possible.
Ah.
But I wish to do puja knowing that I am Vidhihinam Kriyahinam, then why should I do that in the first place?
No,
otherwise-
that's it. Inam has a good idea that I do, but I do not know the exact vidhi. Ma, please forgive me. Because it is, take it for granted. The puja is what? You have invited a very distinguished guest
Yeah.
in your home. And there is a protocol when you invite according to the dignitary's position. No? So if it is such a person comes, say Dalai Lama coming here. Okay, Dalai Lama came, okay, let him come and sit somewhere. Okay, hello Dalai Lama, how are you? Will be the way. Or if you are bringing such a dignitary, you have to make a special seat, special position, what glass you will give, nice glass. It is all protocols are there. So this when we worship any gods and goddesses, there are protocols. That is the rule. That's why you say if you really have not that closeness to Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama's friend type people, they don't care for. They will go, they will share their own food, two people can eat. No? But when you are inviting Dalai Lama to your home, so you should have to keep this minimum. You go to the government dignitaries, you go to the governor's house, some meeting is there. They have some protocol. You go to some formal eating place, huh? With great dignitaries. All the protocol of the spoon and fork, what to keep, what time. I observe sometimes, which to take now, this one or that one. I look around. Yeah. So that is called a protocol. And if you don't do the protocol, then you suppose someone is going to the queen and then had a dinner with the queen. And you can eat any way you like. You will have to follow the protocol. So these are the protocols which are called the puja systems and step by step things to be done properly, ideally. Because you are inviting, you are not so familiar with him, you are not so close, you have a reverence and separation. But when you, by your spiritual practice, raise yourself to the level of Dalai Lama, then you can talk to him anyway. You don't need to have any protocol. What protocol is needed? So that's why this is for us who are not yet purified to that level. So we must have to have this protocol. Otherwise, it is an insult.
Mm.
If you bring some great dignitary like that and misuse, give whatever way, it is an insult for them. So that is to be followed. That's why in puja also, you are invoking the mother of the universe in this particular form. And mother worship, suppose you are worshipping Mother Kali, you are offering white flour.
Oh.
You are giving me food. Suppose you are a vegetarian. I am giving you very well cooked meat. What will be there? Is it insult or will you not be angry? If I have an anger side also to teach you a little bit, so what nonsense? You invited me and feeding me meat. That is the protocol. You are worshipping with the white sandal paste or the red sandal paste. Red is for mother worship, white for Shiva. So there are Tulasi. You are giving Tulasi to what you call Makali.
Or Mother Lakshmi gets angry, very angry.
Huh?
Mother Lakshmi, she doesn't like Tulsi.
So these are the protocols. What is liked by me, you want my pleasure. You invited me to get something from me. And you give me and giving all the things which I don't like. which irritates me. Because you are bringing in a human aspect. God you are bringing as a guest. And then you are behaving with the Lord like your own whimsical way. So who will be angry? We will not be angry if someone put yourself that someone has invited you and offering everything which is disturbing to you. Invoking you, making him sit there and do whatever you like. That's why Vidhihinam, that bola hai. Even performing most perfectly. Then also we say, oh ma, this is my ignorance. Ignorantly if I have done. That's why puja is real puja. You have to, when you select a flower, which sandal paste you are putting, where Durba is given, Durba is rightly done. Three.
You cannot use this finger, for example.
Yeah, say Durba. Durba should be the right type of Durba. The bell leaf is bell leaf. So you ask, that's my major thing, that you are not giving proper respect to the person whom you invoke, and also get your desired result. You want the earthly things. If you love devotion, that's a different thing. Most of the people, Ramakrishna, he want only devotion and love. No other worldly business there.
So if the Sankalpa you say in the beginning, I'm doing this just to love,
That is a Sankalpa you did, but your heart also should
Must,
say
yes.
that. But most people do not go over it there.
Sometimes you just feel urge to just do Bahya Puja only, without any Bhuta Shuddhi, without anything.
Now that out of bhakti you
Bhakti.
offer some flower and incense and say, Ma, take it.
Just out of urge.
That is a different way. That's the bhakti. That's called the puja of the bhakti. Bhakti puja. That our one Swami told that when I was joined and they said that, oh, some brahmachari was performing puja. He said, oh, he is gone, so you have to do the puja today. And I said, no, I don't know the puja. Then that Swami said, what, you don't know the puja? You don't know the puja? What is that puja you don't know? No, don't you offer flower every day in your own personal sign? Oh, yes, I offer flower every day. And I offer incense. Then you say, oh Lord, take this flower, I offer at your feet. Take this incense, I offer at your feet. Please accept it. But that's enough. Because you are offering to God with simple love and no expectation. Oh, as a child gives to their own people, mom and a child, do they formalities? They maintain in formality, husband and wife, and they maintain formalities. Formalities at the beginning stage. So that is a deeper love has generated. Okay, Jai Ma, thank you. So we'll see you 7th.